The 14-year vet Ryan Fitzpatrick back at quarterback for the Bucs after Jameis Winston started the last 3 games. For more on Fitzpatrick, down to the field, we welcome in Sarah Walsh. Sarah.
Thanks, Kenny. Ryan Fitzpatrick said being named the starter this week has a much different feel than it did when he was filling in for a suspended Jameis Winston. He said he understands he's not under the kind of pressure that Jameis is under, and that he calls freeing. As for what a freeing feeling can do for a quarterback, well, Panthers head coach Ron Rivera said the Bucs find energy when Fitz is on the field. He said, quote, they block a little better, they run a little harder, they go all out after that ball, and that is why, Kenny and Rondé, this game concerns Rivera.
Thanks very much, Sarah. Rivera's Panthers have won their last 2 over the Eagles and the Ravens. Dirk Cutter's Tampa Bay Bucs with a record of 3-4, coming off a 37-34 loss to Cincinnati last Sunday. Panthers 1 game behind the Saints in the NFC South. New Orleans with a big game against the Rams later today on Fox. Bucs look to get to the 500 mark. Carolina won the toss, elected to defer. So Graham Gano will get things started. Back deep for the Bucs out of West Mecklenburg High School right here in Charlotte. Sean Wilson. Kick goes into the end zone. So Fitzpatrick and the Buccaneers will start from their 25-yard line. His start to this season, well documented, 3 straight 400-yard games. That had never happened before in league history. He leads the NFL in these categories.
Well, he's been very good protecting the football. I think the decision to bench Jameis Winston was solely about that. And of course, the energy, the inspiring nature that Ryan Fitzpatrick has been for this offense should be on full display today.
Right, the big story, turnovers, -7. The Bucs over the last 2 games. As Fitzpatrick airs it out on first down. That pass intended for Mike Evans.
Oh, see it early in the football game. This is one of the premier matchups of the day. James Bradberry, this young, exciting corner, I like it. Mike Evans told us he is one of the best bump corners in football. You know you're going to see him on the line of scrimmage all day long against big Mike Evans. So keep an eye on those two battling out the entire afternoon.
Peyton Barber in the backfield, 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick hands it off to Barber, up the middle. Gains a couple. Out to the 28-yard line. So 3rd down and 7 coming up for this #1 ranked Buccaneers offense.
Well, there's so many weapons on this football team. Obviously, the receivers outside are the story just because of the dynamic of their matchups. But I got to keep an eye on O.J. Howard. I think the Bucs believe they have a favorable matchup with him versus any of these linebackers on this Carolina defense. I think they're a very good group. See how much O.J. Howard gets involved in this football game.
3 receivers to the right. DeQuiz Rogers in the backfield. 3rd down and 7. Fitzpatrick throws near side looking for Evans. Once again, it's incomplete. So the Buccaneers go 3 and out on their opening drive.
Mike Evans lined up inside. And again, James Bradberry lined up man-to-man. Wins at the line of scrimmage, and this ball is really delivered on time. But look how he gets back in coverage, back in phase on this kind of errant throw. But good job of this Carolina defense getting off, forcing a 3 and out to start this football game.
Brian Anger punting to Damiere Byrd, who will let it bounce out of bounds around the 33-yard line. So good starting field position, Rondé, for Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers.
Well, Cam Newton has been really good the past game and a half of this season. What they did to Baltimore, the #1 defense in football last week, was pretty impressive. And I look at this Bucs defense, they're struggling. They get Gerald McCoy back today. That should help run game and some of the pass rush, but he is such a tough tackle, Cam Newton is. But the most impressive thing, Kenny, that completion percentage. 66 is by far a career high for him.
Newton led a 4th quarter comeback 2 weeks ago in Philadelphia, so his numbers over the last 5 quarters outstanding. Christian McCaffrey on first down. Second year back out to the 38-yard line for a gain of 6.
On offense, Kenny, this offensive line has really started to gel. Some continuity is the word that's been tossed around with these guys. The running game, obviously protecting Cam Newton, only 10 sacks on the year, but keep an eye on DJ Moore. Last week, he had a breakout game, so to speak, but I sit at practice on Friday and just marveled at the physical nature of this guy. His legs look like sprinter legs. It's going to be a tough matchup for this Bucs defense that struggled really covering in the secondary.
First round pick out of Maryland. Second down and 4. As McCaffrey unable to make the catch. Took a hit from Darius Taylor. So a third down and 4 upcoming for the Panthers against the Bucs defense.
Jason Pierre-Paul is having a fantastic year for the Buccaneers, and I mentioned Gerald McCoy, but the guy who I think has the toughest assignment today, Lavonte David. He is the veteran group in that linebacker unit because they've lost Quan Alexander. They've lost some other guys. Kendall Beckworth is not able to play, but watch Carolina. All they tried to do was get the ball to Christian McCaffrey, and Lavonte David's going to have his hands full.
Buccaneers get back not only Gerald McCoy, but Vinny Curry up front. They both missed the last 2 games. Play clock winding down. Panthers get the snap away in time. Newton pulls it in on third down, looks to take off, and he will be tackled at the 39-yard line. Gains positive yardage, but not enough, and now the Panthers will punt.
You got pressure both sides here, and really it's a credit to the secondary. They looked at the line, everybody at the line of scrimmage here. Look at all those guys at the line of scrimmage, really just trying to confuse the blocking schemes, but they just drop out and play zone. It's just a 4-man rush. And you see Vinny Curry, who Kenny just mentioned, just staying with the play and getting this big quarterback on the ground. They got a 3-and-out as well.
Michael Pilardi punting from his 29. Adam Humphries calls for a fair catch at the 20-yard line for Tampa Bay. So both teams go 3-and-out. Bucs back on offense here in Charlotte. Jameis Winston started the last 3 games for Tampa Bay. He said this week, Rondé, it's a setback, but it's a minor setback for a major comeback.
We didn't get much from the Buccaneers concerning Jameis Winston this week. Obviously, he's had to deal with this, and I thought it was nice that he said it's a humbling experience, and sometimes you need that in your professional career. Give him a chance to sit back, kind of reflect, go from there.
Peyton Barber on first down. And we spoke to Dirk Cutter yesterday, Buccaneers head coach. He told us, I don't like switching quarterbacks. I don't like quarterbacks looking over their shoulder. He said it was a bit of a unique situation this season because Winston was suspended for the first 3 games. Fitzpatrick had such great success. Fitzpatrick then started game 4, Winston's first game back on the active roster. And then the Bucs went to Winston for the last 3. Second down and 8. Bucs went 3-and-out on their opening possession. Fitzpatrick's pass is picked off, intended for Evans. Eric Reed with the interception. Reed is inside the 20. And finally brought down at the 9-yard line. His first pick of the season, 11th of his career.
Well, he's looking for Mike Evans. This ball just completely gets away from Ryan Fitzpatrick here. It's not even close, really. Just an in-breaking route, little dig. He has him behind Thomas Davis. That ball is missing Mike Evans by a good 5 yards. Those are about as easy as they come. And this Carolina defense, Kenny, when I go back and watch this game, you see so many takeaways that are just like that. Whether it's pressure, whether it's guys being in the right position. Last week at Baltimore, it was the same thing with the Mike Adams interception. And they set up Carolina with great field position here at the 10-yard line.
As we mentioned, turnovers have been the huge issue for the Bucs. Minus 13 on the season. Eric Reed, of course, the former 49er, signed last month by the Panthers, comes up with the big play. McCaffrey is hit for a loss. But it was Cam on the fake, and now a penalty flag at the end of the play. After the fake to McCaffrey, Cam on the keeper. And we'll check in with the referee, Tony Correnti.
That's what this offense is, Kenny, especially in the red area here.
After the conclusion of the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 59. This penalty be assessed half the distance to the goal, and an automatic first down.
Devontae Bond, the guilty buck.
Well, there's Devontae Bond, 59 in the bottom of your screen. It could be a face mask right there as well, but this is the penalty. That little extracurricular at the end of the play is what necessitated that call by Tony Corrente.
So first and goal from the 4 following the penalty. Off the fake to McCaffrey. Newton throws. And Devin Funchess knocked out of bounds at the 1.
Carlton Davis on Devin Funchess. This is a like-for-like matchup with the Bucs. Just Carlton Davis, the tallest and biggest receiver, probably the strongest one at the line of scrimmage as well. They got all these little guys, but Devin Funchess he's just a monster outside as a wideout. Trying to get him into the end zone there, but came up a little bit short.
Now the Panthers, Rondé, send in some big bodies, an extra blocker, Marshall Newhouse, fullback Alex Arma. This is Arma on second and goal, and he is in for a Carolina touchdown.
It's just all too easy for this Carolina offense. Kenny, in the red zone, they have so many different ways to score. First play is a read option where Cam keeps it. We were both fooled, thinking to give it to the running back, try to pass, but then you just turn around and hand it off to the fullback. Dive. He scored at least 2 touchdowns this exact same way on goal to go from the half-yard line. Touchdown Panthers.
But Carolina capitalizes on the early turnover, and the Panthers score first, Rondé, for the first time in their last 6 games. Graham Gano adds the extra point. Second touchdown of the season for Alex Arma following the interception by Eric Reed. Brought it all the way back to the 10. And then Arma. Ryan Fitzpatrick throws the early interception, shaking his head. That's the league-leading 20th turnover committed by the Bucs. And it took Carolina only 3 plays to score. Bucs again will start from the 25. We played 4.5 minutes. This will be the 5th possession of the game.
Well, turnovers do that, right? Fitzpatrick starting this game 0 for 3, and Kenny told me up here earlier, all 3 attempts have been to Mike Evans, and it's easy to fall in love with throwing the ball to Mike Evans because he can make those contested catches. Give some credit where it's due. This Panthers secondary is really geared up for this matchup outside with one of the best young wide receivers in football.
Play clock winding down. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Barber gains a yard out to the 26 with Alan Cross leading the way.
Get these lineups in here for the Panthers here, Kenny, but easy to talk about these guys up front. They're all good pass rushers. K'Wan Short, Mario Addison, and Julius Peppers, but it starts and ends with Luke Kuechly, obviously. And we asked Ron Rivera about that linebacking crew, and they're pretty much considered the best in the business. But he told us they're finally starting to hit their stride. It's Thomas Davis's 4th game back, and those 2, Kuechly and Davis, have a great rapport amongst themselves.
Couple of fakes, and then Fitzpatrick complete to Peyton Barber out of the backfield, but he'll be shoved out of bounds by Luke Kuechly, you were just talking about, Rondé. So a loss of a yard on the play.
Oh, they're just so assignment sound, these guys, and that second level, as you will, of this Panthers defense. You never see them make mistakes in reading out plays. They read and react as good as anybody in football. Should be interesting to see how Dirk Cutter, Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, and of course Ryan Fitzpatrick, how they deal with that group.
Buccaneers facing a 3rd down and 10. Penalty marker. Pass is caught. And picking up a 1st down out to the 38 is Adam Humphries. But we will check in with Tony Corrente.
Illegal shift, offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty, repeat, 3rd down.
That's on the tight end, Cameron Brate. To Los Angeles we go for a game break. Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kenny. Falcons, Redskins. Falcons looking for their third straight win. This is a nice start. Matt Ryan throws the screen to Tevin Coleman, who does the rest, 39 yards. Falcons up early, 7-0. Kenny, Rhonda, and Sam.
Thanks, Carissa. Both of these teams keeping an eye on the scoreboard. Falcons, like the Bucks, at 3-4. Following the penalty, it is now 3rd down and 15 as Fitzpatrick hands it off to Jacquizz Rodgers, and Rodgers fighting his way toward the 35-yard line. It is close. Captain Munnerlyn finally made the tackle, and it looks like Rodgers did get there.
They came in with the spot right on the line, and that would be enough for the first down, and that's just unsuspecting, really, by this Panthers defense. You cannot go to sleep on this Bucs offense, because they will find ways. And if that line is unofficial, of course, that yellow line superimposed there, but that looks like it's good for a first down to me.
Longest run of the season by the former Falcon, Jacquizz Rodgers. On 3rd and 15, the Buccaneers convert. Rodgers stays on the field. 2 tight end set. 1st and 10, 35-yard line off the fake to Rodgers. Fitzpatrick throws near side, complete to the tight end, Cameron Brate, out at the 44 for a gain of 9.
Well, I think it's important right here for this Bucs offense to find that rhythm. When they're going, Ryan Fitzpatrick gets that rhythm. I think he's a great rhythm passer, but get us a couple of stops on him. He tends to struggle at times, and he'll try to force some footballs, but this offense gets going, Kenny, we know what it looks like. It can be explosive. These little short intermediate passes will set up some takeoffs. Again, you cannot fall asleep on these receivers on these deep routes. Best in the league at it.
2nd down and 1. It's Rodgers, and this time he will be stopped. Picked up the first down moments ago on 3rd and 15. K'Wan Short, first Panther, in on the tackle, so a 3rd down and 2 upcoming for Tampa Bay. Buccaneers with an early turnover. Panthers answered with a 1-yard touchdown run from their fullback, Alex Arma. From late substitutions by Tampa Bay, the play clock is all the way down to 3. And a timeout is taken by Tampa Bay, with the play clock winding down. We'll be back after this message from Progressive. Back in Charlotte, midway through the first quarter, 3rd down and 2 for Tampa Bay.
Well, quarterback of the defense, Luke Kuechly.
He's been to 5 Pro Bowls, more tackles than any other player in the league over the last 7 years.
Quarterback for the Bucs. Let's check out this cat and mouse. Ryan Fitzpatrick is really good finding plays at the line of scrimmage. You'll see him checking and surveying the defense and trying to get them into the best play.
Fitzpatrick on 3rd and 2, and that is broken up, nearly picked off by Bradbury. That's the 4th time Fitzpatrick was looking for Mike Evans. 0 for 4 on those throws.
Well, this is what he's best at, just dominating at the line of scrimmage right here. Hand into the chest. No way Mike Evans is getting into on that slant. That is such a good job by the young corner. And almost another interception.
We spoke to Mike Evans yesterday, asked him about Bradbury. He said he's one of the best press corners in the league. Put him right up there with Patrick Peterson and Richard Sherman. Absolutely.
That is very high praise.
Fair catch is called for by Damiere Byrd back at the 11-yard line. So Bradbury and the Carolina defense off to a good start. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers leading the Tampa Bay Bucs 7-0. There's first-year offensive coordinator Norv Turner.
Done a great job with Cam Newton. When we talked to him this week, he said the change wasn't that much of a change. It's really some of the similar concepts. Most importantly, the terminology of the offense stayed the same. I think it's helped everybody come out flying on this Panthers offense.
Here's McCaffrey on 1st down, found a hole, takes it out to the 18-yard line.
This might be his best chess piece on this offense, not only as a runner, but as a receiver. And the one area as I'm watching Cam Newton where he has improved the most is finding checkdowns to Christian McCaffrey, because all you really want to do with him is get him in space, because he's such a dynamic runner. He's got great strength in his lower body, got great quickness with his feet. The more touches he gets, usually the better for this Panthers offense.
He's the Panthers' leading receiver. Also led the team in receptions last season. Second down and 5. Newton complete. Oh no, Samuel dropped it. Looked like he had it, but Curtis Samuel could not hang on.
Oh, he had a great route. And this is one thing, if you're a defender for the Buccaneers, watch all this action going on in the backfield with Cam Newton. It's a reverse, it's a fake RPO, whatever you want to call it. And then Samuel runs a great route right here. Gets Brent Grimes turned around, but got to finish it.
Second-year receiver out of Ohio State. Unable to make the catch. Third down and 5. Panthers must get to the 22-yard line. Ball to the throw, and that one is caught by Jarius Wright for a Carolina first down at the 25.
He's had some injuries in the Bucs secondary. They got a new nickel corner in there, Javian Elliott. This is just a slant. Mano and mano, right? My guy's better than your guy. Need a quick throw for the first down. Well delivered, great catch.
Wright, the former Minnesota Viking. New set of downs for Carolina. Newton slides out to the 29-yard line. Another game break to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Chiefs, Browns. Patrick Mahomes doing what Patrick Mahomes does. Throws the screen to Kareem Hunt, who takes it for 50 yards. It's Kareem Hunt's 8th straight game with a touchdown. The Browns would add a field goal. Chiefs up 7-3. Kenny?
Thanks, Carissa.
Kenny, this offense, this read option offense, it's all side saddle, quarterback in the gun, running back to the side. It just presents so many problems. And then you get this motion. Look, they put more in the backfield. It could be a triple option right here.
It's McCaffrey on the screen. Oh, he hurdles Carlton Davis across midfield. That is finally forced out of bounds at the 41-yard line of the Panthers.
My goodness. Wow. Again, just such a unique play call. Just the way they set up the offense here. You got a receiver in the backfield. You're going to fake a screen out to your right of Cam Newton's right. All he wants to do is get the ball to his guy, Christian McCaffrey. Wow, that's going to be on some highlights across the league later today. Goodness me.
32-yard catch and run by McCaffrey. From the Tampa Bay 39, off the fake to McCaffrey. This is DJ Moore. Moore inside the 25, still going, inside the 10, finally forced out of bounds at the 7. So many weapons on this Carolina offense, and they get the ball to their hands in multiple ways.
They just got it rolling here. They're having fun with it. He's going to come from this side, going that way. And look, it's just misdirection. If you're a Bucs defender again, your eyes are just messed up. Where is this ball at? He turns around and hands it off, and of course it's poor tackling in the secondary by the Buccaneers. And there's that guy, DJ Moore. He is an exciting young football player, Kenny. I love what I see out of him in his limited opportunities with Torrey Smith out of the game again with an injury.
Back-to-back 32-yard plays for Carolina. McCaffrey was lined up in the slot to the right. Here's McCaffrey inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. So the Panthers are in the red zone once again. And this Tampa Bay red zone defense last in the league as far as touchdown percentage, and Carolina has already scored from the 1-yard line today.
Yeah, it's almost automatically they've gotten down here giving up touchdowns, and there's a reason why you get behind in games early. Yes, they give up some yardage, some specialty plays that they weren't able to contain with Carolina, but they've got to be better in the red zone. They're going to stay in football games early.
8th play of the drive. McCaffrey. He's in. Touchdown. Christian McCaffrey.
And just more misdirection for this Carolina offense. Reverses, whatever. Turn around and hand it off and let his power get him into the end zone there. This Bucs defense is reeling right now. Know they've simplified some things on this Bucs defense, but again, you have to be able to follow your keys or this thing could get ugly quick.
Here's Graham Gano for the extra point. (14-0) Carolina. Hurdling Carlton Davis gained 32 yards earlier in the drive and then into the end zone for another Carolina score. Terrific start for Christian McCaffrey and the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, when you look at these dual threat type runners, obviously Todd Gurley's not on this graphic. Alvin Kamara is one of the best young players in football, both rookies last year. And look at, they're chasing each other. Either way, any way that they touch the football, whether it's rushing the ball or catching as a receiver, they are just so dynamic. I gotta see this one more time, Kenny. I mean, I was a hurdler in high school. I've seen a lot of guys jump over people. That was almost perfect for him. He hits the ground running. He's ready for the next hurdle.
And he kept going.
Yeah, look at the spring in this guy's legs. Goodness gracious. Played against his dad. His dad was a beast too now.
Got Ed McCaffrey, who won 3 Super Bowls. And now Fitzpatrick and the Bucs offense back to work as Fitzpatrick takes off, and he'll be marked down at the 35-yard line.
This Bucs offense is almost better in these situations. You never want to be down in football games. I'm not saying that, but they've been in this situation so many times this season that this is when they start to roll, when they feel like their backs are against the wall. Todd Monken will start opening up the playbook, start taking some chances, and see if they can start chasing this football game.
Fitzpatrick picked up the first down. Barber in the backfield. Fitzpatrick throws. Caught. You mentioned O.J. Howard earlier, Rondé. A flag thrown at the end of the play. Back around Fitzpatrick. Gain of 15 for Howard.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 92. This 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the play. First down.
That's on Vernon Butler, so a 15-yard pickup and then 15 more on the penalty.
You'll see him just come at the end of this football play. After he throws it, that hit right there. Ryan Fitzpatrick knows he's calling for it. That's 15 yards. That gain by O.J. Howard. That's the matchup again inside. He was being covered by Mike Adams there, but across the middle, there's not a better young tight end in football. Just the way he's built, his wingspan, his athleticism. I'd get the ball to him more often.
Empty backfield from the 35-yard line of the Panthers. Fitzpatrick to Peyton Barber. Barber able to work his way down to the 25-yard line. And you're right, Rondé, the way the Buccaneers have played on offense this year and picked up yardage, and when you look at the amount of points they've scored, they're never out of a football game.
No, I mean, I can't think of a game where they were out other than Chicago, where Fitzpatrick's last game starting. Jameis Winston came into the football game when they were down so early. Otherwise, it's like a shootout, and it really feels like that's their method. They want to be able to score a lot of points, never out of a football game.
Here's Barber against the Steelers. They trailed by 20. They only lost by 3. They fell behind big to Atlanta, 31-6. They lost that game by 5. They came back last week to tie the game against Cincinnati. They lead the league in offense. Crazy numbers.
They are crazy numbers, and really the impetus for that is the play on defense. For some reason, and it's inexplicable, you ask them, they can't explain it, why they get off to such slow starts on the other side of the football, but it puts a lot of stress on this offense to have to chase the game.
Second down and 7. Patrick goes back the other way. It's Adam Humphries. As he looked right and then threw to his left, Humphries takes it to the 17-yard line of the Panthers.
Oh, this is just a nice little setup of a play. They're just going to let these guys just come through. They know that it's a screen, a late developing screen to Adam Humphries, but look, he's looking away, knows exactly where to turn around and fire that football. It's a well-designed play. Adam Humphries is a guy, all these other weapons, gets very little talked about him. Somehow, some way, he puts up big numbers every single season.
Sean Wilson, top of your screen, the Charlotte native, in on offense for the first time today. Empty backfield once again as Fitzpatrick throws underneath, and Humphries picks up a first down. Clock winding down, so this will take us to the end of the first quarter with the Buccaneers on the move, trailing 14-0. First and 10 from the 11-yard line when we return as the teams switch ends here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We start the second quarter in Charlotte. Kenny Albert, Rondé Barber, Sarah Walsh. Buccaneers have fallen behind 14-0. But they are on the move. First and 10 from the 11-yard line of Carolina. 4 wide receivers set, plus a tight end. Justin Watson, the rookie out of Penn, is on the field. Adam Humphries shifts into the backfield. The toss to Humphries on first down. Has a block. He's inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line, a gain of 7. Big block by the left tackle, Donovan Smith.
Yeah, left tackle Donovan Smith does a good job getting out in front of this play. You put Adam Humphries in the backfield, you're just running a toss. Got to get 2 pullers out front. You see the center, Jensen, knocks James Bradbury out of the way, picks up some nice yardage there in the red zone. Just a unique little play that you kind of trick the Panthers defense. 4 wide receivers, a tight end on the field. You're not expecting a run play. Well done.
On second and 3, the fake to Barber. Fitzpatrick to O.J. Howard for a Buccaneers score.
Again, another nicely designed play here down in the red zone. This is O.J. Howard, just a little, you see him take a step in, a little delay, but it's just a little counter boot. And Fitzpatrick took a shot right before he got this ball off. You sell out on play action, you let those other guys at the end of the line of scrimmage go, and man, that's a hit by Thomas Davis. But great drive by the Buccaneers, answering, getting some points on the board. All they needed to do is protect the football. Did a great job and go and score and make this a 7-point football game.
Chandler Catanzaro adds the extra point. 4th touchdown of the season for O.J. Howard. Buccaneers are on the board, trailing the Panthers by 7. There's Chandler Catanzaro connected on the extra point a moment ago, which is big news for the Bucs because in each of their last 3 games, he missed his first extra point attempt in each game.
His coach has not lost confidence in him.
No.
He had that game-winning 59-yard field goal a couple of weeks ago, and Dirk Koetter told us, I have no reservations. He's our kicker. We need a kick. We expect him to make it.
Cam Newton and the Panthers offense back on the field with a 14-7 lead. The big plays on that last drive. McCaffrey went for 32 yards. DJ Moore went for 32 on back-to-back plays.
Well, if you're looking for a reason why Cam is so efficient, it's because of those players. McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Samuel, obviously Devin Funchess and Greg Olsen have been constants here, but just the amount of speed and really athleticism they've added to this offense has helped him tremendously.
On first down, it's McCaffrey. Carlton Davis makes the tackle. Gain of 4 for Christian McCaffrey. Panthers shuffling personnel. Greg Olsen on the field. Samuel, C.J. Anderson out for the first time today.
They bring C.J. Anderson out on the field with Christian McCaffrey, and it creates another unique look from a defensive perspective. You got 2 running backs on the field. One of them likely going to touch the football here. They spread them out here, go empty.
Anderson, bottom of your screen, rushed for over 1,000 yards with Denver last year. McCaffrey, top of the screen. As Newton finds Funchess out to the 45-yard line, a Carolina first down. Gain of 16 for Devin Funchess.
Well, that exploding motion, you put McCaffrey outside, put Devin Funchess inside, and the Bucs are just playing zone defense. So essentially, this is a matchup for Carlton Davis as a deep third zone corner that has to come inside the numbers to make a play. You saw Levante David evacuate to the flat. Really easy throw for Cam Newton.
Davis now on the sidelines. First and 10, 45-yard line. McCaffrey unable to break free as Ryan Smith came up to make the tackle.
Yeah, this is a great job by Ryan Smith, and he struggles at times in coverage, but what he is really good at is being a tackler. You see him right there covering DJ Moore. And I tell you what, that's a tough play for a corner to make. Is you're in man-to-man coverage, tracking your receiver inside, and that ball bounces out to you. Nice wrap tackle by Ryan Smith.
Loss of a yard, second down and 11. Early second quarter in Charlotte. Off the fake to McCaffrey. Wide open, Greg Olsen. His first catch today. Takes it all the way to the Tampa Bay 33-yard line.
Well, you're going to see these linebackers on your screen here jump up a little bit because of the little play action pass, and just nobody affects his release. Wide open behind the second level of the defense. And Cam Newton, that strong over-the-top delivery. It's unique, but it is so effective, especially when you got a guy like Greg Olsen on the receiving end.
Olsen gained 23. Carlton Davis back on the field for Tampa Bay. Off the fake to McCaffrey. Moore pitches it back to Samuel. Newton leading the way for Curtis Samuel. Cuts it back inside. Samuel still on his feet inside the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown. What a play.
Guys are just having fun now, Kenny. You're pulling everything out of your playbook here. How about a handoff, reverse, double reverse, with your big quarterback leading out front, Cam Newton, but he ain't gonna hit nobody. He's faking on the corner, and this is just great running. After the running ability by Curtis Samuel, that's what they love about this kid, his ability to make space out of nothing, create a huge play. Again for this Panthers offense.
Third touchdown of the season for the Brooklyn, New York native, Curtis Samuel. Carolina Panthers out to a 21-7 lead. There's Curtis Samuel, who scored the last Panthers touchdown. How much fun was that play to watch, Rondé?
Well, if you're a Bucs defense, you're just kind of spinning, your head spinning with all these misdirection and reverses and multiple personnel set offenses going on right now. They just can't find where the ball is.
From 5 yards deep in the end zone, Wilson takes it out to the 20.
Take a look here, Kenny, real quick. It's 3 deep, 4 under. He comes down here. He's a flat defender. He's a flat defender. Somebody's got to set the edge of the defense out here. You'll see Devontae Bond just get caught up inside. And when he gets pinned, you get 3 Carolina Panthers out there, plus your quarterback. And again, it's just do your job on defense. They're not finding, they're getting so confused with what's going on in front of them that they're not focusing on their job and just giving up a lot of big plays right now.
So now the Tampa Bay offense back to work from their 20-yard line. Fitzpatrick looks to spin away. Down he goes. Back at the 18-yard line. Mario Addison leads the Panthers this year. Now has 5.5 sacks.
Well, Addison finished this sack, but it's Dontario Poe. You're going to see him right here just shoot through this gap and just untouched, really. Makes Fitzpatrick have to spin out, and then guess what? Thanks for the sack. think Peyton Barber's got to get up there, but he's in I formation trying to carry out a fake, and he just can't get his body on Dontario Poe. Quarterback scramble, sack for this Panthers defense.
Out to the 19-yard line. Sean Wilson as we head to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. So the Steelers were already up 7-3 against Baltimore when Ben Roethlisberger to who else? Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown now has a league-leading 9 touchdowns. Steelers up 14-3.
All right, Carissa, great rivalry. Ravens and Steelers going at it. Divisional matchup here in Charlotte. 3rd down and 11. Bucs must get to the 30 for a first down. Here comes Eric Reid. Fitzpatrick spins out of trouble, but not from the second man, Mario Addison, with his 2nd sack of this possession.
And again, Mario Addison is going to be the beneficiary of another pressure from somebody else. This is Eric Reid right there coming to the line of scrimmage. He's coming. And Jacquizz Rodgers has got to be able to pick him up. It's just not enough time for Ryan Fitzpatrick to find anybody down the field. This pressure of this Panthers defense is really starting to heat up. If there was one area where they needed to get better on defense, it was rushing the quarterback. They're finding their way here today.
So 2 sacks by Addison on that possession. Here is Damiere Byrd to the 41-yard line of the Tampa Bay Bucs. Well, tomorrow night on Fox, 911 is all new, and critics agree it remains the greatest and wildest show on television. Yeah, it's that good. Don't miss it, all new 911 tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only on Fox. Short field for this Carolina offense. They've scored touchdowns on their last 3 possessions.
I think the Bucs need to call 911 on their defense right now. Okay, look at this stat. 173 first-half points allowed. Carolina on the entire season has only given up 159. Wow.
Now, when you look at what Carolina's done over the last 6+ quarters, Rondé, as McCaffrey takes the handoff, they scored touchdowns on 3 straight drives against Philly. They've done it again today, and McCaffrey looking to make it 4.
It's a great run, but it's also some really bad tackling here. It's just a stretch run. He's just running off tackle here. You see the pullers gap scheme with the 2 linemen out front. Take a quick step here, see if he stepped out of bounds. It's close. But again, the Bucs just cannot seem to get anyone on the ground right now.
McCaffrey gaining 35 yards down to the Tampa Bay 7. The Carolina center Ryan Khalil shaken up. There's Tyler Larson. We'll be back. Dirk Cutter has challenged. Buccaneers think that McCaffrey stepped out of bounds during that 35-yard run. We welcome in Dean Blandino from Los Angeles. Dean, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking at that right foot right there at the 39-yard line. It's really close. I don't think we can tell for certain whether that foot actually touches the white or not.
Well, I think that divot mark that you saw get kicked up after he planted or came out of that plant is evidence that he was inbounds. It's we all know it's tough to overturn these things, and I think if this was on the Bucs sideline, maybe they're not even challenging this, but it is very close, Dean.
It is, and when you're looking at these sideline plays, you know, something looking right down the line or even an overhead would help, because the angles are gonna be difficult if you're not looking right down the line.
I don't know if this one's any better, but the line judge, you see him right there behind Christian McCaffrey. He's looking right at this, and
yeah,
I don't see that his foot is on the white. It's very, very close. But I don't think there's enough there to say that he was definitively out of bounds.
I agree. And the other thing here, if they rule him out of bounds on the field, they can't give an advance in replay. So when it's close and questionable, the right thing to do is let it go, and then replay could always bring it back if he did step out.
All right, thanks very much, Dean.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. He did not step out of bounds. Tampa Bay will be charged with their second timeout.
Ryan Khalil back in, injured during that McCaffrey run.
Well, you'll see 67 right there, right-hand side of your screen, and Lavonte David just comes in and takes on the block and just kind of stopped right after that play, right after that contact, and went to a knee. But back in the game, something minor.
Back in the game because of the challenge. And
yes.
Tampa Bay loses a timeout. Otherwise, he would have to sit out a play. Tyler Larson had come in, but now Khalil returns, the 5-time Pro Bowl center for Carolina. First and goal from the 7. On the toss, it's McCaffrey. Armour, the fullback, leading the way. And McCaffrey is knocked out of bounds around the 2-yard line.
Coming right at you here, Kenny. Again, the puller's out front. Amar does a great job getting the corner out of the way, but really nice pursuit there by Devontae Bond, chasing that ball down to the sideline. And again, they're so dynamic on the edge of this defense. They have so offense. They have so much speed at running back, receiver. And I got to tell you, when you get down in this low red area, the one thing that's tough about Carolina defending them is Cam Newton, because it makes you defend 11 guys on the field. He can be a runner. He can fake. He can do whatever he wants. You just got to keep an eye on number 1.
Second tight end, Manhurts on the field. Second and goal from the 3. McCaffrey, no signal yet. Stop short. Stop just shy of the goal line. It will be 3rd and goal for the Panthers.
And the really hard job on defense is this mesh point. You don't know if he's going to pull that thing out or leave it in your gut. So as a defender, you just have to do your job. One person has to take this dive. Another person has to be accountable for Cam Newton as a runner if he decides to pull that thing out of there.
Big bodies on the field. Extra blocker, 71, Marshall Newhouse, set up to the right. Fullback Armour. Buccaneers send in extra linemen as well. And now a timeout is taken by the Panthers.
Thank you. Timeout. Carolina, their first. A 30-second timeout.
So following the timeout, a 3rd down and short. 3rd and goal coming up for Carolina. What a first half for this Panthers offense.
Now it's rolling. They're doing whatever they want to this Buccaneers defense. And again, I go back to the influence that Norv Turner has had on this offense, just adding so many more plays to what they've always done well. And then those playmakers, we've seen the receivers, we've seen what Christian McCaffrey is. Have not seen Cam Newton pull the ball down and run yet, but I would not be surprised if he does it right here. You got these big bodies in at the line of scrimmage, this play fake, and watch him booting out one way or the other.
Armour shifts into the backfield. On 3rd down, McCaffrey is in. Touchdown. His 2nd of the game.
Just great second effort here by Christian McCaffrey. You'll see the puller, Van Rotten, come through, and he just runs right up his back, runs through the tackle of Adarius Taylor. And it looks like he broke the plane before that knee hit. We'll take a look at it, as all scoring plays are. This is just forcing your will on a team right here. That knee is down. You really can't see the ball. Without a good look, I don't think that they'll be able to overturn that.
As you mentioned, all scoring plays are reviewed. Tony Correnti waiting the official word.
.133 rushing yards already.
Previous play will go under review.
Christian McCaffrey has outgained the Buccaneers all by himself in this first half.
Yeah, you're right, Kenny. 59 yards on the ground, 36 yards through the air. They ask a lot of him. You know, last year he was more of a specialty guy, but this year he's lining up in the eye. He's doing everything as a full-time 3-down running back. And I think it adds to his dynamic because teams can't game plan for just those few plays that he's in the football game now. Very dangerous player, exciting young guy to watch. And this will be a good look here, Kenny. There's the ball. There's McCaffrey going through this pile of bodies. He is down. That's close. It's very close. I think the one thing that they're looking at is where this ball was when he dove forward there right before his knee hit the ground. It was kind of sitting at belly height, right? And Tony's going to come out here and tell us what we know.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
McCaffrey with his second touchdown today. 5th of the season. How about the big plays for this Carolina offense? 4 plays of at least 30 yards, 5 20-plus. They lead 28-7. After a 3-and-out on their first possession, 4 straight touchdowns for Carolina. And for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Rondé, it's been a bit of a crazy start to this season.
It really has. It's just the way that Ryan Fitzpatrick lit up the league those first 2.5 weeks of the season. And it is so unbalanced, outweighed significantly by poor play on defense. Look at those numbers, worst in so many different categories. It's just hard to stay in football games when you can't get stops on the other side of the ball.
On one hand, you have the #1 rated offense, 467 yards a game, at least 450 in 3 straight. But the turnover is a big factor, and they turned it over early in this game, leading to the first Carolina touchdown. And defensively, as you said, allowing over 33 points per game, 31st in pass defense. Much of the same here today defensively from Tampa Bay. And now Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Bucs offense back on the field.
Well, we're looking for magic. It's getting knocked out of him here early in this football game. So many hits that he's taken because they're having to drop back and throw the ball so much. They cannot get a running game going. It's been the case almost all season long. And under pressure today, Kenny, not very good. 2 sacks already. Been hurried at least twice, maybe more than that.
Barber on first down, looks to cut to the outside, but he gets wrapped up by Dante Jackson, the rookie out of LSU.
Oh, that's a nice play. I love corners that can tackle. This kid has been a ball magnet this year. He's got 3 interceptions on the season already. We're going to ask him to come play. There was a few young corners this year that I really like. He was probably the 2nd best athletically. They got a steal in the 2nd round with this kid.
They sure did. He had 3 interceptions his first 3 games. Mike Evans without a catch today, Rondé. They've gone his way 4 times in his first half. That pass incomplete. Jack Thompson with the hit on Peyton Barber, 3rd and long coming up.
You know, at this point in the game, you won't see as much challenge from this Panthers defense right now. They're going to play a little bit off. No reason to get up in the receiver's face and try to play that man-to-man that we saw earlier in the game. So this is a situation where Mike Evans can start to come alive a little bit.
Matched up with Bradbury. Adam Humphries, the only wide receiver with a reception today for the Bucs. None for Evans, none for Deshaun Jackson. Great split out wide to the right. Bucs must get to the 35 as Fitzpatrick throws, going Evans' way, and that one gets broken up. Bradbury again defending, so that's 5 targets for Evans, no receptions.
He's playing off coverage. This is a really good plant and drive. You just know it's one-on-one on the outside there. I love the way that they game plan there. Eric Reed getting in the throwing lane a little bit of Mike Evans, and that's got to be a catch. I know that Mike Evans is getting contested there. Bradbury's arm flashing in front of him, but it hits the body. They need him to make that play right now.
Agger punting. Oh, it's a fake. And Agger's pass is broken up.
Oh, this screams of desperation a little bit. Can't get anything going on offense. Your defense can't stop anybody anyways. So why not try a fake here, Bryan Anger? I think this is just a testament of where this Bucs team is, and he's looking for his tight end who was sneaking out of the backfield, and his ball gets tipped by, can't even see, David Mayo. Yeah, that's a tough one. Now the Panthers got great field position again, looking to make this 35-7.
They've scored on their last 4 possessions. Take over at the Tampa Bay 25. Off the fake to McCaffrey. Newton complete. It's Olsen. And he gets cut down by Darius Taylor. As we head to Los Angeles, Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. No Khalil Mack, no problem for the Bears. Nathan Peterman's pass deflected and intercepted by Leonard Floyd, who takes it in for the score. Bears' second defensive touchdown of the day. They're up 21-0. Kenny?
All right, thanks very much, Carissa. Bears looking to go to 5-3 on the season. Second down and 9 for Carolina. Down to a 28-7 lead. Newton's throw is caught by Funchess. And he takes it all the way down to the 1 on the second effort. He was not touched. Got back up. 23-yard pass play.
Devin Funchess is lined up inside. He's on Brent Grimes. He just runs away from him. Brent Grimes almost makes a great play on the ball, but great concentration by Funchess. They are at the doorstep again.
Most points this franchise has ever scored in the first half of a game, 31 in their history. They came into the league in 1995. Big bodies in once again. Newhouse and Arma. It's Newton. A flag is thrown, and Newton will take it in. But we'll check with Tony Correnti.
Illegal shift offense. All 11 players were not sent simultaneously. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Ball spotted back at the 6-yard line. Just under 5 minutes remaining, second quarter. All Carolina here in the first half. Christian McCaffrey with 2 touchdowns. Curtis Samuel and Alex Arma with the others. There's McCaffrey. Down to the 3. Jordan Whitehead the tackle.
If they don't find a way to get a stop here, Kenny, it just, where do you find a way back? It's too early to write off any game, but you go down 35-7 here, and you just get into that desperation mode on both sides of the football. Cam Newton, this offense just rolling. Again, it feels like they're just playing with the Bucs right now and finding whatever way to get into the end zone.
Newton looking end zone on second down, throws it away. And now a flag is thrown. Nobody in the vicinity.
Oh, he's still in the pocket, and he's under duress.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 1. The ball be spot of the pass. Loss of down. 3rd down.
You'll see the pocket, right? Out tackle to tackle. As long as he's still inside there, there's got to be a receiver in the area, and this is a good call. If there's nobody in his face, he can throw it away. But the coverage was good out here by Brent Grimes on DJ Moore. That's where he was going originally. Nobody on the other side. Good coverage by the Bucs DBs.
Remember, the Panthers had 1st and goal at the 1. Now back at the 17 following a couple of penalties, the illegal shift, and now the intentional grounding. 3rd and goal. Newton to the end zone. What a catch by Greg Olsen. Spectacular for a Panthers touchdown.
This is as good a catch as you will ever see right here. He's going to get matched up on the linebacker. It's going to be a Darius Taylor, and Cam Newton sees his head to the back of to the receiver and just throws it. Says, give him a chance. One-handed. It wasn't a sticky catch, but an unbelievable catch.
That's the 34th time Newton and Olsen have hooked up for a touchdown. And that might move to the top of the highlight film.
How can it not? Wow.
Franchise record for first half points. They had scored 31 against the Redskins in a first half back in 2015. 3rd touchdown of the season for Olsen. He scored in 3 consecutive games. Well, it's a short week for Cam Newton and the Panthers. They'll be back in action on Thursday as they take on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. It all starts at 7:30 Eastern on Fox NFL Network and streaming on Prime Video. The Panthers and the Steelers this Thursday night. Touchdowns on 5 straight possessions for Carolina.
There's just no stopping the bleed in this Bucs defense. They just cannot find a way to get right here. And mentioned earlier, it's been rushing the ball earlier, but they've come alive throwing the football as well. Over 100 yards in both categories in the half. And man, like you said it, Kenny, past 6 quarters, this offense has really come to life. There were some struggles earlier in the season. I don't know if it was acclimation or whatever. They dominated the best defense in football last week. They are destroying the worst defense in football today.
21 points in the 4th quarter against Philly. 36 against the Ravens last week. And now 35 in the first half. So not even 7 full quarters. 6 quarters plus 11 minutes in this one. 92 points.
That's pretty good.
You think?
There's no words for that. And this is not an offense that really gets credited for being this explosive. It's hard to fight it.
Only 28 plays, they've scored 35 points. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Tampa Bay. This is Humphries. And Adam Humphries will pick up a 1st down. So the Bucs last week, with Winston starting the game and then Fitzpatrick coming in after Jameis threw 4 interceptions, was sacked 5 times. They set a franchise record, 576 yards of offense in that loss to Cincinnati. Dirk Carter makes the decision, goes back to Ryan Fitzpatrick to start this game. Early interception, and they find themselves trailing by 28. From the 37 on 1st down, it's Jacquizz Rodgers out to the 42-yard line. Once again to Los Angeles, Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. So Falcons up 14-7 in Washington. 3rd and long. Matt Ryan connects with Calvin Ridley, who takes it in for 40 yards. The rookie's 7th touchdown of the season. Falcons leading this one on the road, 21-7. Kenny?
All right, thanks very much, Carissa. Washington first place in the NFC East at 5-2, trailing the Falcons today. Adam Humphries, his 4th catch, and he will pick up another Tampa Bay 1st down. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half, and Carolina deferred, so they will get the ball first, Rondé, following halftime.
Well, you're going to see a lot more Adam Humphries here in this kind of hurry-up offense here. He's matched up against Captain Munderland in the slot. It's probably a matchup that they think is favorable for them. Keep an eye on him as they try to claw their way back into some sort of respectability here in this football game.
From the 48 on first down, Fitzpatrick near side, Humphries again. Knocked out of bounds by Eric Reed in Carolina territory. Humphries' third reception on this possession, 5th in the game. And this will take us to the 2-minute warning in Charlotte. What a first half for the Carolina Panthers offense. Touchdowns on 5 straight possessions. Back in Charlotte, 35-7 lead for the Panthers. 2 minutes remaining, second quarter. Jacquizz Rodgers lined up to the left of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick fires near side to Sean Jackson. His first catch today at the 29-yard line of Carolina.
That's a name we haven't heard today. He's been sharing snaps with all those receivers out there. And again, you're going to see a lot more softer coverage outside. So all these outbreaking routes, which I think Ryan Fitzpatrick throws pretty well, should be available to him.
20-yard connection. First and 10 from the Carolina 28. Flag on the play. Now a second flag as Fitzpatrick took a hit.
Offside, defense number 96. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Wes Horton gets a pretty quick jump here. I mean, there's nobody going. I'm surprised they didn't blow that play dead, because he was really kind of unabated to the quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick shaking his hand there. I wonder if that hit got him in his shoulder.
From the Carolina 23. A minute 25 on the clock. Fitzpatrick to the end zone. 0 for 6 when targeting Mike Evans.
Well, Eric Reed is just hanging around in the area the whole time. You know, they know that this is the matchup. He's the 50-50 ball winner. See James Bradbury there in coverage, but here comes Eric Reed. They get making sure they get 2 bodies around Mike Evans on these vertical release routes.
Second and 5. Pass caught by Chris Godwin, and he will drag a couple of Panthers with him. Picks up a first down to the 8-yard line. That's Godwin's first catch today, gain of 15. One timeout remaining for the Bucs. They lost one on a challenge. First and goal from the Carolina 8. Fitzpatrick throws it through the back of the end. It actually hits the crossbar, but that's an incomplete pass. You could not catch it or intercept it on a carry.
No, those don't count.
It's not arena football.
Smart decision, though. You're looking for points here. Carolina or Tampa, 3 points will work fine. You just got to find some way to finish a drive with points here. Give yourself some confidence going into the second half.
Even if your name is Captain Munderland, you can't do that. Second and goal from the 8. Fitzpatrick has that pass batted, and then an alert play to knock it down. Looked like Ali Marpet kept it away after the bat by Julius Peppers.
Hey, Big Julius, see him right there at the end of the line of scrimmage. These long balls, this guy's been doing it forever. That's a nice play, an even smarter play by Ryan Fitzpatrick. He could put, was it Ali Marpet who knocks this thing down? Make sure this is not an interception with all those Panther bodies hanging around.
10th play of the drive, 3rd and goal. And a timeout will be taken by Carolina.
Timeout. Carolina, their second.
39 seconds remaining. What's coming up at halftime, Kurt Menefee?
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, it's week 9 and we're halfway through the season. Check out highlights from the Jets and Dolphins. The Steelers visit the Ravens, and the Browns have the tough task of taking on the Chiefs. It's all coming your way on the Visa Halftime.
All right, Kurt, we look forward to it.
That was the most muted I've seen Kurt Menefee on a is straight up sitting at the desk. They usually got something crazy going on in that studio in LA.
Following the timeout, 3rd and goal for Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Bucs. Fitzpatrick spins, takes off, inside the 5, down at the 3.
Watch this hit at the end of this play. Ryan Fitzpatrick is just trying to force his way through here, but man, that is dangerous looking hit on Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Timeout taken by the Bucs as they leave the offense on the field down by 28, looking to get it into the end zone. "19 seconds on the clock, 35-7 Carolina to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. So the Browns were trailing 21-9 when Baker Mayfield connects with Duke Johnson, takes it in for the 19-yard touchdown. 2-point conversion, no good. So Browns trail 21-15 at the half. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa.
Big play here for Tampa. Look for the big guys. Look for O.J. Howard. Look for Mike Evans.
Fitzpatrick throws. It's O.J. Howard, his second touchdown today.
He's becoming a threat down here. I know that this is one of the matchups they wanted, especially in the red zone. It's very similar to the first touchdown pass that he caught. On the move, though, this time running away from those linebackers, and really well delivered by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Nice catch, and that was a necessary score for this Bucs offense.
Here's Catanzaro, connected on the extra point earlier. He's missed 4 this season. The kick is good, so a late touchdown for Tampa Bay. O.J. Howard now with 5 on the season. Carolina Panthers with a franchise record 35 points in the first half today.
And again, they've just been making it look easy.
Back to Sarah Walsh. Sarah.
You know, Cam's numbers have been terrific this year, but it's the things that don't show up in the stat line, and that's maturity. We hear that from people throughout the organization about Cam. He told us, you know, he used to be, if a meeting started at 8 o'clock in the morning, he was a 7:40-ish kind of guy, and he said, now I'm there hours early. I take pride in that stuff, and Ron Rivera told us earlier in his career he would rely on his ability, and now he relies more on his mental capacity to make quick decisions out there on that field, and you're seeing that today, guys.
Well, I got to tell you, Kenny, when we sit down with them, it's the most, I don't know, buttoned up and mature that I've ever been with Cam. And what I took from it is the leadership role that he's assumed on this football team, especially with some of these young players that are looking up to him. And I don't know that he was necessarily that before or not. I wasn't in their locker room. But it's clear now that he is the leader of this team, and they are following as he goes.
Now in his 8th season, he was named the league MVP back in 2015. A look at his numbers through the first 8 games that year and again this season.
Well, this is the number you're looking at right there. That's the one that's most impressive. I asked myself this week, how do you win league MVP completing 54% of your passes? But he was just so dynamic that year, and he's even better this year with this Norv Turner-led offense.
Touchdowns on 5 straight possessions, then a knee as the Panthers let the clock run down. They score 35 in the first half and will get the ball first in the second half. Play of the first half presented by DirecTV. Or for your thing, that's our thing. How about this hurdle by Christian McCaffrey over top of Carlton Davis? Check it out.
I think the word you use is impressive, Kenny. Impressive young man right there.
Extremely. McCaffrey with 2 of the 5 Carolina touchdowns in the first half as they lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by the score of 35-14 at halftime in Charlotte as the Panthers look to win their 3rd straight, go to 6-2 on the season. To Los Angeles we go for the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt and the gang, take it away. McCaffrey on the screen. Oh, he hurdles. Carlton Davis. He's in. Touchdown. Christian McCaffrey. Newton to the end zone. What a catch by Greg Olsen. Spectacular for a Panthers touchdown. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. Christian McCaffrey with 2 first-half touchdowns. Carolina Panthers score 35 points, franchise record for a first half. And they will start with the football here in the second half, Rondé. From a Tampa Bay perspective, what do they have to do to get back in this game?
I'd say start playing defense, but we haven't seen much of that this game. And they've struggled all year playing in the secondary, but today it's really about defending the run game to the perimeter of their defense. They can't seem to set an edge. So whether it's Christian McCaffrey, whether it's DJ Moore, whether it's Curtis Samuel, they're just finding that area to run outside. And they just really haven't had to rely on Cam Newton as a passer. They're running the ball so well. They're going to have to find a way to get a stop here eventually on defense.
Did you bring your jersey with you today?
I did not bring it. No way.
First and 10, 25-yard line for Carolina. On the delay, it's McCaffrey. Gain of 3 as we head down to the field and check in with Sarah Walsh. Sarah.
Well, guys, I asked Dirk what this team has to do better, what they have to do to get into this game. He said it's pretty simple. They have to tackle. He described the team's tackling as horrendous. I said, given how this could all shake out and what this score might look like, did you give any consideration to switching quarterbacks? Could we see Jameis Winston today? He was succinct. He was direct. He said no.
Well, that certainly is succinct. Thanks, Sarah. Jameis Winston in uniform. He is the backup. But, as you heard from Sarah, will be Ryan Fitzpatrick throughout this second half. Pass sails away from Funchess. 3rd and 6 upcoming for Carolina.
Watch Lavonte David. This is where Cam Newton was trying to get this ball. I think this is one of the hardest matchups ever. Just Christian McCaffrey is like a wide receiver with those choice routes. That's what that's called, those type of coverages. So late, he tries to pump this ball to Funchess on an in-breaking route. It's just a little bit high. But good job by Lavonte David there, taking away his #1 option.
Funchess on the sidelines. 3rd down and 6. Carolina must get to the 35-yard line. Newton goes down. Gerald McCoy making his return after missing the last 2 games with a calf injury.
Well, welcome back, Gerald McCoy. He's going to be lined up right. Where's Gerald? He's right there. And I think he just comes in behind these other blitzers in the A-gaps. He uses Lavonte David as a little pick. There you go. Finally getting a stop here on defense. 6 straight scoring drives right for the Panthers. Finally get off the field.
5 touchdowns for Carolina. Humphreys on the return. Humphreys upended at the 29-yard line. Shaq Thompson with the tackle on special teams. Back down to Sarah.
Hey guys, as for Ron Rivera and their second half game plan, it's pretty much business as usual. They need to keep their foot on the throttle is what he said. And this is something that this team dealt with a week ago against Baltimore when you get a big lead. I mean, these are good problems to have that Carolina is dealing with. And we talked to Mike Adams, their safety, earlier this week, and he said the same thing is once you get up big, can you maintain that defensive intensity? And that's what the Panthers are going to be challenged with here right now.
I think the words he used to us, don't go to sleep, especially with this explosive Tampa offense.
on the toss on first down. It's Wilson, Charlotte native, and he's thrown to the turf by Luke Kuechly. Gain of 2 on the play.
Guy works through traffic as good as anybody in football. It's amazing how quickly he diagnoses plays, and yes, there's not a blocker on him, but when he arrives, he usually arrives pretty violently. Great football player.
Remember what Mike Evans told us yesterday? We asked him about Kuechly. He said, he's so good, he calls our plays. He knows all of our plays before we run them. There's a great defensive play, forcing Peyton Barber back. Dante Jackson.
You don't see a lot of corner cats by this Panther team, but he's lined up right there. He's blitzing. He's got a safety to cover the route behind him, and man, it's just well designed. You get that reduced split by Tampa Bay, and you know, a lot of times defenses say, we'll just switch off coverage. You take the guy in, I'll rush. Makes a nice play in the backfield.
Peyton Barber is the Bucs' leading rusher. He has 2 yards today on 6 carries. Play clock winding down. 3rd and 16 for the Bucs. That pass was batted by Julius Peppers. 2nd time today he's gotten his hand on one.
They just can't get right on offense one way or another. And this was going to be a completion, but Peppers, looking like the basketball player he used to be, goes up and swats this thing away, and I don't think we're going to see another fake punt here, Kenny.
No. So both teams 3 and out to start the game, 3 and out to start the second half. Fair catch called for by Damiere Byrd at the 30-yard line. Panthers offense back out, leading by 3 touchdowns. Early 3rd quarter in Charlotte, Panthers get the ball back, leading 35-14. Number 2 rush offense, Rondé. Carolina in the NFL this season. They've already run for 140 yards today and 4 touchdowns. This is C.J. Anderson, his first carry.
They just have a real strong commitment to it. And heard and watched the halftime show them talking about Norv Turner, you know, using his assets really in what they do best, and it's what they do with a quarterback like Cam. You have to run the football. You have to utilize him as a runner, and then those complementary pieces around him. Christian McCaffrey, C.J. Anderson, and both of these young wide receivers, they're options in the run game. It's very difficult to get ready to deal with a team with that many options running the football.
DJ Moore again shifting into the backfield prior to the snap. Newton in trouble. Down he goes. That's the 2nd sack here in the second half. Carl Nassib for Tampa Bay, bringing down Cam Newton.
Well, he just gets a great get off, and he's going to see the down block by the line of the Carolina Panthers, and Greg Olsen's got to come across the formation to try to get him. He just runs right through him. Cam was about to get out of this, and the last second grab of his ankles gets him on the ground.
That's the 3rd sack for the former Cleveland Brown. You mentioned earlier, Rodney, coming into the game, this Carolina offensive line had allowed only 10 sacks all season over their first 7 games. Over the top to McCaffrey. Down to the 36-yard line. Levante David, the tackle, but not enough. And for the 2nd time in this 3rd quarter, Carolina will punt it away.
Well, it's those type of plays, those sacks, those lost yardage plays that we didn't see any of in the first half with the Buccaneers. But you put the offense behind the sticks, they fail on 1st or 2nd down. The sack on 2nd down helps. Long yardage situation, it gives yourself a chance to just make tackles.
And we mentioned earlier, Buccaneers have come back from some big deficits to make games close. An opportunity for Tampa Bay once again to pull to within 2 scores as Humphreys is out of bounds right around the 17-yard line.
Take a look at the quarterback comparisons this year. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jameis Winston. Obviously, they put up some big yardage. This offense is explosive in their passing game. I mean, that's the number. Telling the story of the day, the narrative coming into this week was the turnovers by this Bucs offense, and Jameis Winston just was not finding a way to eliminate them. So we're seeing a lot of Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I think it could be his team for the rest of the year here.
Mike Evans makes his first catch today. Targeted 6 times in the first half, and he's shaken up.
I think he just got a finger in the face here. Can he? Yeah, look, and it's really not that much of an issue. Maybe the helmet came down and smacked him on top of his eyelid after that catch. But mentioned first catch of the day. James Bradbury has done a fantastic job on Mike Evans all day long. Whether it was on the line of scrimmage and bump man, or whether it's been off, this kid is a really emerging young corner in the NFL.
Nice run, first down and more. We had talked about Peyton Barber's numbers up until that point. 2 yards on his first 6 carries. He gains 18.
There's some really good run blocking up front here. See Caleb Benenot get up in front, and Peyton Barber, I mean, he doesn't get a lot of credit for what he is as an open field runner, but I see him as a really shifty, powerful guy that finishes forward almost on every single run, and finally get an explosive play out of the running offense in this game.
From midfield, play action, as Fitzpatrick fires, looking for Deshaun Jackson off his left hand.
I thought it was interesting. Ryan Fitzpatrick told us that in practice it's hard to overthrow Deshaun Jackson just in the slot. He's going to be matched up against Captain Munnerlyn, and this is just a mismatch in speed and just a touch too long. Deshaun Jackson can usually make these catches, find a way to run underneath them. Just a long foul ball there.
Right, Fitzpatrick told us Deshaun has another gear, and he's usually able to catch up to those. 2nd and 10. Mike Evans back on the field. On the slant, the catch is made, and picking up a first down is Jackson to the 38-yard line, gain of 12.
Well, this is a nice job by Ryan Fitzpatrick, just identifying that they're in man-to-man coverage. It sets up a natural little pick on the outside. It's just a little sling. He spins this ball into Deshaun Jackson, being covered by Dante Jackson. Another first down for this Bucs offense.
Bucs trailed Cincinnati by 19 at the half last week. Came back to tie the game, trailing this one by 21. O.J. Howard, the intended receiver. Mike Adams, the 15-year vet, defending.
Well, he took a chance here, trying to get this ball to the much bigger O.J. Howard. Mike Adams does a really nice job here. Coverage, the old man of the secondary, 15 years in the league, and I tell you, looking at his numbers, he just finds the football. He's a little shaken up, but 15 years in the league. He told us he's only really started for 9 of them, so he doesn't feel like an old man. That was a nice play.
30 career picks, 3 the last 4 weeks, replaced by Rashawn Golden. Barber up the middle. Barber to the 36-yard line, gain of 2. Shaq Thompson the tackle. Third down and 8 coming up for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and the Tampa Bay Bucs fell behind 35-7. Carolina with touchdowns on 5 straight possessions in the first half. Bucs looking to pull to within 2 scores. They need the 28-yard line for a first down. Fitzpatrick steps up and throws. It's Adam Humphries who makes the catch at the Carolina 23. Buccaneers pick up a first.
This is just a little sticks route here. You got 3 vertical releasers outside. You got 4 receivers on the field, and Adam Humphries just goes to the yard to gain, drops in behind the nickelback, who gets sucked in a little bit on the eyes of Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he dumps it right outside to him. Well executed. You keep mentioning Adam Humphries. You need a first down, and I don't know that there's a more reliable guy on the football team to get it for you.
Team high 6th reception for Humphries today. Play clock at 3. Peyton Barber looks to cut to the outside. Nice penetration by Dante Jackson. The initial Panther to make contact.
Eric Reed has been a guy his start here in Carolina. He had some injuries in the secondary, and when he was in San Francisco, they used him at safety. They used him at linebacker. Didn't really have a position identified for him. So they let him go. He's a free agent. Nobody's picking him up. He's out of football for so long. Comes in here and I think has had an immediate impact to this football team.
Mike Adams back on the field. His mate in the secondary. Fitzpatrick throws, and it's broken up as a flag. Deshaun Jackson, the intended receiver. Second flag came out. Dante Jackson, no relation, defending.
I think had a couple of holds on Dante Jackson here. You'll see it. It happens right at the top of the route, and then as you get towards the bottom of the route, he grabs him again. That's why you see the 2 flags. He was making sure he wasn't catching that thing, wasn't he, Kenny?
2 fouls, both against the defense. Holding. Defense number 26. This penalty is declined. Pass interference. Number 26. This penalty is accepted. The ball being placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
You ever get called for 2 on one play?
I don't think that's ever happened. I was never beat, so I never had. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course it happened to me. I think I may have been the most penalized guy in the secondary when I was playing.
You just had 2 thrown on you up in the booth.
I had a good relationship with the refs. That was my method. Talk nice to them.
Learn their names, their bios, their histories.
Yes. How's the family doing?
Bucks pick up 19 yards on the penalty. It's Fitzpatrick after the fake to Barber. And he'll be tackled at the 5-yard line. Eric Reed coming up to make the stop. Can't question his toughness.
Little Cam Newton imitation here, the read option. And when that defensive end goes down, he's probably saying, please take me. Don't go down on the running back. Take me so I can hand this thing off. And he's not going to scare anybody to the edge of any defense there.
10th play of the drive for Tampa Bay. 2nd and goal from the Carolina 5. Fitzpatrick fires. Humphreys, touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass today for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, here we go. They're right back into this football game. And again, it's a man-to-man matchup. Adam Humphreys, Captain Munnerlyn, and just the time. Look at that pivot route and the understanding of your quarterback, knowing man-to-man, my guy, I think, has an advantage. I'm going to put it on him as soon as he comes out of his break. They are right back in it, Kenny. 14-point game, and this feels all too familiar if you're a Bucs fan. Them chasing the game in the second half.
First touchdown of the season for Humphreys out of Clemson University. Returning close to home. He's into the end zone. It's a 2-score game. Ryan Fitzpatrick with 3 touchdown passes today. As the Buccaneers, who trailed 35-7 at one point, now pulled to within 2 touchdowns.
I mean, those first quarter numbers are because they couldn't sustain any drives. They had three and out drives in that half, and off of all of them, Carolina went down and scored.
And that interception early was a killer. Big return by Eric Reed down to the 10-yard line of Tampa Bay, and Panthers would score their first touchdown following that turnover. So now this Panthers offense goes back to work. They've gone 3 and out twice to start this second half.
Just a better effort, especially up front by this Bucs defense. We're starting to see some pass rush. If Cam Newton, this offense, don't really try to run this game out, I'd be surprised. These defenders of the Bucs are starting to find their way against this offensive line of Carolina.
A couple of sacks here in the 3rd quarter. Tampa Bay. Newton with time. Flag is thrown. Pass in the vicinity of DJ Moore. Two flags on the play.
Pretty sure the one in the back end is illegal contact. There was 2 guys, like a car wreck in the secondary. Let's see what Tony Correnti has for us here.
Holding, defense number 97. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's on Vinny Curry.
Oh, here's your hold, Vinny Curry. The outside. I got you. Grabbing Greg Olsen. He's dropping back coverage because they ran a blitz. But this is the car wreck I was talking about on the other side. 4 guys piling up there.
Newton over the middle. Olsen. First down, Carolina. Out to the 41. Gain of 11. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. So the Redskins trailing 28-7 against the Falcons when Alex Smith hands it off to Capri Bibbs for this 3-yard score. Redskins only down by 2 scores. Kenny?
Thanks, Carissa. 2-score game here in Charlotte as well. Panthers leading the Bucks 35-21. Fake to McCaffrey. Newton again with time. Throws DJ Moore. His first catch today in Bucks territory. Another Carolina first down, gain of 17 for the rookie.
He's out here working on the vet, Brent Grimes, and you're going to see Brent. He starts to slip here on this turf. Cam Newton puts a bullet on him here right out of the break. I've seen DJ Moore catch those passes and turn him up and hit his head on the goalpost. That's why he's so dangerous. The run after the catch with this guy is spectacular. So good job by this Bucs defense getting him on the ground there.
3 plays, 3 first downs on this drive for Carolina. And now they'll use a timeout with the play clock winding down. .338 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Fox Sports Supports is proud to partner with The Mission Continues, a nonprofit organization deploying military veterans to build stronger communities across the nation by improving schools, revitalizing parks, and fostering neighborhood development. Visit missioncontinues.org to learn more.
It was well done. This halftime, they had the parachuters come in. Here it's been their salute to service game. We get to wear the pins today. It's a nice tradition that these stadiums do here for the veterans.
Absolutely. Terrific job by the Panthers organization. Carolina leading by 14 following the timeout. 1st and 10 from the Tampa Bay 43. Samuel comes in motion. This is Samuel. And he's down to the 37-yard line of Tampa Bay.
Again, just creative ways to get Curtis Samuel the football. He hasn't caught a pass yet today, although this really could be considered a pass.
It goes down as a pass.
Little touch pass, right? As much as that looks like a run, it's a completion to Curtis Samuel, but yeah, when he gets in space, he just has that demeanor about him, that shiftiness. It makes people want to miss him in the open field, and dangerous option.
Looking for Samuel again with Brent Grimes defending. As Newton is helped back up following a hit from Carl Nassib.
Good plant drive here by Brent Grimes. Not a power transition guy. He's just a really quick transition guy. And there's the late hit, and really just Carl Nassib pushing his blocker into his quarterback.
William Golston hustling off the field. Bucks had an extra man as they lined up. 3rd down and 4. Now the play clock again winding all the way down. And Carolina forced to use a 2nd timeout. Just under 3 to play in the 3rd here in Charlotte. The new defensive coordinator for the Bucks, Mark Duffner, replaced Mike Smith last month. Still down on the field because he's also remained as the linebackers coach.
You got to be careful how aggressive you get here for your Bucs defense.
3rd down and 4 as Newton will pick up the first down himself. And then he took a hit at the end of the play after the slide from Andrew Adams.
Always have to account is Cam as a runner. I mean, this is just quarterback draw. You just expecting guys to be a pass here, a quick pass or whatnot. Cam is getting down, but it's a late slide, and it's not to the head and neck area. I know people in the stadium are booing.
Now they're booing because he was marked short. Remember, it's where he first hits on the slide. So he thought he had it, but it's actually marked just shy of a first down.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Where you start to slide is where you're down.
And now the play clock running down again. They've already used 2 timeouts.
Well, yeah, that could become a big deal here, right, Kenny? 3 timeouts already used.
Now, Ron Rivera has the challenge flag in his hand, chatting with the officials.
I think it was clear by our replay there that the point when Cam starts to give up on the play and slide down.
Right, so this is a challenge, not a timeout, although he will lose the timeout if unsuccessful, and that would be their 3rd and final timeout, which would mean Carolina can no longer challenge.
It's where you begin. Watch where he starts to go down, and that ball, you see it, it's short of that yellow line. This will be a good picture of it here too. See the lollipop right there on your screen. Look where Cam Newton is right now. I think that's a pretty good spot by the officials to catch that, because in real action it looked like he was past that line to gain.
We'll bring in Dean Blandino from our studio in Los Angeles. Dean, how do you see the spot?
Yeah, so when any runner starts a feet first slide, you look for that first body part other than a hand or a foot. There it looks like it's Cam's right leg, right knee. So when that right leg is down, where is the ball in relation to the line to gain, the 33? And it looks like a good spot. It looks like it just is short. I don't see anything to be able to change this in replay.
Because it was ruled short on the field, there must be indisputable evidence to overturn and award the first down. Thanks, Dean.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The runner short of the line to gain. Carolina will be charged with 3rd and final timeout of the regulation.
So that could be big, Rondé. They already used 2 timeouts. This cost them a 3rd. So not only do they no longer have a timeout, but they no longer can challenge.
That could be interesting come later, but they're going to go for it here, Kenny, and I like this. You can make a statement here about yourself. Always have to be worried, Cam, and a sneak.
There's a flag. No question about the first down, but penalty marker on the field. Here's Tony Correnti once again.
Well, the Panthers weren't set on the right side of their offensive line. Either Van Roten or Chris Roten or Chris Clark were set.
All 11 players were not set for a full second. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
You see they're trying to go quick and come to the line, but Roten and Clark are just not set right there on the end of the line scrimmage, so legal shift. Interesting enough, Riverboat Ron's going to keep him out there.
Offense remains out on the field on 4th down and 6. It would be approximately a 56-yard field goal attempt, but then if you miss, you give the Bucs great field position. And now Tampa Bay will use a timeout.
Timeout. Tampa Bay, they're first.
We'll be right back right after this message. Strange sequence, Rondé. 4 timeouts called, including the one lost on a challenge in the last minute 46 seconds. And now a 4th down and 6 following the penalty.
That might be an NFL record. I never remember that ever.
I would concur. Newton's pass caught by Funchess, but a great tackle to keep Funchess from picking up the first down. And then Carlton Davis at the end of the play, a flag.
Oh,
He was right in the face of Funchess.
It's going to be a dead ball foul, though. It was after the play. But just immaturity. Great. You make a great play, Carlton Davis. Just, you've done your job. Keep it moving, buddy. There's no reason for that. And again, this should be a dead ball play, and the Buccaneers should get the football.
After the conclusion of the play, which resulted in a Tampa Bay possession, unsportsmanlike conduct, Tampa Bay will be Tampa's ball, first down and 10 after the 15-yard penalty.
So a great play by Davis, but then he costs his offense 15 yards.
Absolutely. You're in a tight split right here. He's got to chase Devin Funchess all the way across this formation. Cam Newton gets it to him on time, but nowhere to run, and just a nice tackle to the ground. But this, unnecessary. They're going to call that every single time.
Rookie out of Auburn, no reason for that. He's penalized. 15 yards, pat on the back from Jameis Winston. But the Bucs get the ball back. Trailing by 2 touchdowns, late third quarter. And now this play is blown dead. It's a false start.
False start, offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So it's been a bunch of timeouts and penalties over the last couple of minutes.
Well, I think it's you got to keep your composure. I mean, this game's for the Bucs. It's about to get interesting, and they've been in this situation so many times, and you just can't let the circumstances of the situation dictate your behavior. Go out, do your job. You know you have a chance to get back, and as you look at the receivers for the Buccaneers, it's Adam Humphries.
Only 1 reception from Mike Evans to this point. From the 16, Fitzpatrick hit as he throws. Football came loose. Question is, was the hand moving forward? Ryan Jensen recovers it. The Bucs center following the pressure of the hit by Mario Addison.
Now it's Mario Addison. Watch this move that he puts on Donovan Smith. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? He's to the quarterback already.
It was a fumble. Hand was not moving forward.
That was definitely a fumble, and you'll see the ball is out before it comes through. But Ryan Jensen, man, he is lucky this ball bounces right back to him. There's a couple of Carolina defenders waiting for it.
Second down and 20, following the loss of 10. This is Peyton Barber, and he'll be wrapped up by Luke Kuechly. So you go back a couple of plays, Rondé, after that tackle by Carlton Davis. It should have been a 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line for the Bucs, but he's called for taunting, then the fumble. And look at the situation the Buccaneers are in here.
Yes, fumble, another lost play. Great job by Luke Kuechly again. Peyton Barber's not going to be able to outrun him to the sideline. And this is where the crowd starts getting involved. Backed up in the red area here, and Carolina knows it's time for them to make a play.
Tampa Bay must get to the 31-yard line for a first down. Fitzpatrick fires downfield, and it's caught. Chris Godwin picks up a first out at the 38-yard line on 3rd down and 17. It's a 25-yard connection as the third quarter comes to an end. So the Buccaneers right around where they would have been prior to that taunting penalty as we head to the 4th. Chris Godwin, number 12 on the Tampa Bay sidelines, just made a huge play to keep this drive alive for the Bucs, who hold the Panthers without a point in the third quarter. 2-score game as we begin the 4th. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line for Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Bucs. O.J. Howard makes the catch. He has 2 touchdowns today, able to fend off Mike Adams as Howard gains 31.
Well, I feel like you could do this all day. It doesn't matter who you put on O.J. Howard. It's just the size disadvantage. The coverage is good. He's there. But because you're under so much stress down the field as a defender, because of his size, because of his ability to run, Mike Adams here never gets a chance to turn around and find the football. O.J. Howard makes that great 50-50 reception.
56 yards on the last 2 plays for the Bucs. From the Carolina 30, Fitzpatrick throws near side in the vicinity of Evans once again as we head to Los Angeles. Kurt.
Well, a reminder, when you guys are done, two of the best offensive minds in football, Sean McVay and Sean Payton, will go head-to-head. It's the Rams and Saints in America's Game of the Week. You do not want to miss it. And it comes up when you guys are finished there in Carolina. Kenny, Rondé, and Sarah.
All right, Kurt, we look forward to it. Should be a great one on America's Game of the Week. Godwin is back on the field. He comes in motion to the right.
Hey, gun, silent.
59's the mark, back and left.
Play clock at 5. It's Patrick on 2nd and 10. Humphries on the slant. Adam Humphries inside the 10. Still going. Humphries is finally brought down at the 1-yard line.
Adam Humphries. Hey, he just put so much emphasis on everybody else. Look, this is the matchup I'm looking at. It's Bradbury versus Mike Evans, but he's going to win outside. He gets a natural pick from his compadre there, Mike Evans, and then the run after the catch is just nice. This is so close to being in, and I don't know that his knee was down before that ball crossed the goal line here, Kenny. Keep an eye on his knee, and I think that's a touchdown.
I think you're right. He was on top of Luke Kuechly. Buccaneers would have to challenge. Eric Reed is the injured Carolina Panther. Now Dirk Cutter has thrown the red flag as the Buccaneers set up at the 1-yard line. Certainly looked to us like Humphries was not down as we bring in Dean Blandino once again. He was on top of Luke Kuechly, and it certainly looked like
Tampa
the ball
Bay is
crossed the
challenging
plane.
the ruling on the field.
What do you think, Dean?
Of the runner short of the goal line.
Yeah, this is a good challenge because watch, the first thing to hit is going to be the runner's chest, and he's got full extension at that point, and the ball is going to land right on the goal line. So that ball breaks the plane prior to him being down. Let's look at this shot as well. Watch, the left knee is close, but it doesn't touch the ground. The hand doesn't put him down, and now he gets that full extension. When the chest hits, the ball is breaking the plane. That's a touchdown.
I absolutely concur, Dean. When first look, you couldn't really tell. He looked like the spot was correct, but on our first replay, you could tell that Adam Humphries had not, in fact, touched any part of green grass, and the first thing to hit the ground was the football on that white line of the goal line. So I think this is an easy decision for this crew. And Adam Humphries, what a day, Kenny. He came into this game talking about Mike Evans and Deshaun Jackson, their matchup with James Bradbury and Dante Jackson, but it's been Adam Humphries who's been the catalyst for this passing offense of Tampa
After
today.
review, the ruling on the field will be changed. Touchdown. Will the game clock operator please reset the game clock to 14:24.
Now, Dirk Cutter waited until the last
14:24.
second to throw the
Thank you.
flag. We were speculating amongst ourselves during the commercial break that perhaps he didn't want to waste his final challenge. He lost one earlier because it was 1st and goal from the 1, and you figure you have such a good chance to score anyway, but he winds up throwing the red flag. Touchdown for Adam Humphries. The Panthers at one point led 35-7. The Buccaneers have scored 3 straight touchdowns. They have pulled to within 7. Huge game for Adam Humphries. For more on the Bucs receiver, down to Sarah.
Yeah, Kenny, he's got plenty of family on hand today to watch him score those 2 touchdowns. He grew up in Spartanburg, South Carolina, actually going to Panthers training camps because that's where they hold them. And I asked him what it's like playing behind Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, the guys that get attention. He said, well, that's nothing new for me. I played at Clemson. Listen to the receivers he played with at Clemson. DeAndre Hopkins, Martavis Bryant, Sammy Watkins. He's used to being the guy that no one is really talking about except for today. And Dirk Cutter said, listen, I am his #1 supporter. I asked Dirk why. He said, it's easy because he's supposed to be where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there every time, guys.
Great stuff, Sarah. Humphries had 10 receptions in a game, his career best against Carolina in Tampa back in the 2016 seasons. He loves playing against these Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, well, he's not only playing 2nd and 3rd fiddle, he's like 4th fiddle on this receiving group. I don't think he minds it at all. He gets so much freedom to run routes inside. And I got to tell you, give credit to Ryan Fitzpatrick for finding the matchups. Here we go. This intel. This is cool. I like that. Look at that. Talk about production value. Good job, Barry Landis.
Barry, our producer, Jeremy Green, our director. Great job by our entire crew today here in Charlotte. Associate Director Joe Williams, Broadcast Associate Jonathan Biles, Technical Producer Ron McGuggins, Technical Director David McGavin.
We got a game, Kenny. We got a game.
Buccaneers within one score. McCaffrey. By the way, Rondé, and I know you were wondering, remember it was a 28-point deficit back in the second quarter?
Yes.
Guess how many games in NFL history there have been in which a team has come back from at least 28 down to win?
I'm going to say there's been one.
One in regular season, two in the postseason. So 3 games in NFL history, the team has come back from 28 down or more to win. Can the Bucs become the 4th?
We get to see. And their defense has really stepped up here in the second half. See if they can continue this push and get the ball back for their offense.
2nd and 10. Newton, McCaffrey. Tackled at the 33-yard line by Levante David. 3rd down and 2. What a turnaround for Tampa Bay on both sides.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think the big thing there is those 42 yards have been courtesy of a bunch of 3-and-outs to start the second half, and then a 4th down stop on that prior drive.
3rd down and 2. Newton to a wide open McCaffrey across midfield. Panthers 1st down.
Well, when this offense is rolling, Kenny, you see a lot of Christian McCaffrey just sneaking out of the backfield and getting on a matchup. Here it's going to be a Darius Taylor, and there's just no chance that he's going to be able to run. He gets a pick from his receiver coming the other way, and this is why Christian McCaffrey is so dangerous and why this offense, this Panthers offense, has been so explosive lately. It's not just the running of both Cam and McCaffrey, it's those passes out of the backfield.
In Buccaneers territory from the Tampa Bay 47. Off the fake to McCaffrey. Newton near side, wide open, Olsen. Greg Olsen with another Panthers 1st down to the Tampa Bay 28-yard line.
Well, again, there's just so much misdirection by this Panthers offense. 2 tight ends, Greg Olsen's there. You're going to see him hold a little bit, block Vinny Curry for a second. Look, nobody's following Greg Olsen to the other side of the formation. Wide open, and another huge play by this Panthers offense.
Back-to-back 20-yard pass plays, first to McCaffrey and then Olsen. From the Buccaneers 27 as Moore comes in motion. This is Newton after the fake to McCaffrey. And Newton gets shoved out of bounds by Brent Grimes at the 21-yard line, gain of 7.
Yeah, Carl Nassib actually does a pretty decent job here on this read. He's going to be right here. But Cam Newton, it's just, how do you get this guy on the ground? He's trying to play the quarterback and the pitch at the same time. You got to choose one. He chose wrong. And Cam Newton just does what Cam Newton does, getting out on the edge and being bigger and stronger than everybody on the football field.
There's Newton again. After yet another fake to McCaffrey. Another Panthers 1st down to the 14-yard line of the Bucs.
Well, so here, really same option here. It's a read option. He's reading this guy on the line of scrimmage, Cam Newton is, and when he crashes down and McCaffrey pulls it, Levante David is the guy that's got to play past that block and get out on the quarterback. And it's so hard, though, because you're really committing an extra guy to the box. It makes you vulnerable to play action pass, which I know they're very conscious of. But I think, first of all, if you don't take care of Cam Newton as a runner, you're going to get beat.
1st and 10 from the Tampa Bay 15-yard line. And now a flag as the play clock ran all the way down, and Carolina's out of timeouts.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Cam Newton slow to get up after the previous play, Rondé. Checking out the play clock and knew that he had no timeouts left. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Vikings and the Lions. A 24-9 victory for Minnesota. Wild one here in Charlotte. Panthers had a 35-7 lead over the Bucs. Tampa Bay has scored the last 3 touchdowns in the game. On the toss, it's Christian McCaffrey. Flag on the play. Another flag comes in. In the first half, Carolina scored touchdowns on 5 straight possessions. But it's now a 1-score game.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. 10-yard penalty. And repeat. First down.
Left tackle, Chris Clark.
You'll see him coming up on Carlton Davis here, and he tries to foot fake him. Carlton Davis does a nice job, but just quicker athletes. It's tough on offensive linemen to get squared up. He pulls him down to the ground, and that's where that penalty was. Sets him back to second and long here. First and long. I'm sorry, that was first down play after that penalty.
There's McCaffrey up the middle. Gains back a big chunk of yardage to the 19-yard line.
That play certainly helps. Get a dive right up the middle, and again, some good blocking up front for this Panthers offensive line. Just creating space, and just where are the Tampa Bay linebackers there? I know they're probably considering this is going to be a pass play, but got to read your keys. And again, they haven't been very good at that all day long.
Big day for McCaffrey, 77 yards on the ground, 78 receiving yards. He split out to the right. Newton on 2nd and 15 to the end zone for Samuel. He makes the catch. Touchdown. His second of today's game. Curtis Samuel. And the Panthers extend their lead.
Well, you get in this bunch formation, and I say it all the time. They're going to bunch you down so they can expand one person. And that person is Carlton Davis here covering Curtis Samuel. You see this bunch route, so a guy's going to go in and out, and one guy's going to bend it outside, and there's nobody in the middle of the field because the safety is covering the tight end, Greg Olsen. And that's just tough on Carlton Davis with no help in the middle of the field playing outside leverage. That was a nice answer to this surge, 21-point surge by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for Carolina to come here and try to put this thing further out of reach.
Cam Newton to Curtis Samuel. 14-point Carolina lead. Look at the quarterback numbers. Ryan Fitzpatrick has thrown 4 touchdowns today for the Tampa Bay Bucs, but Cam Newton's Panthers are back up by 14.
It's hard to believe those numbers are that even, right, Kenny? But most of that has been second half numbers for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he's going to have to find some magic here. 9 minutes left in this football game, down 2 scores.
Buccaneers have allowed at least 40 points for the 3rd time this season. Season high in points for the Panthers. So now Tampa Bay, who overcame a 3rd and 17 on their last possession, wound up scoring yet another touchdown, will start from their 25.
I got to wonder, when's Mike Evans going to come alive? Right, James Bradbury, we mentioned it over and over again today, has been doing a fantastic job on him. He has not had the impact that I think we all expected him to.
Only 1 catch for Evans. Top of your screen, matched up with Bradbury. Fitzpatrick throws on 1st down. It's caught by Cameron Brate, but Shaq Thompson is right there to make the tackle, gain of just 3.
Well, so far today, James Bradbury has been on lockdown mode on Mike Evans. Just the very first play of the game, great coverage. First 3rd down of the game, great coverage, almost an interception. Off coverage, grid plant and drive. He's been all over the #1 receiver for for Tampa Bay.
Number one receiver today has been Adam Humphries, as Fitzpatrick slides out to the 31-yard line. So a 3rd down and 4 upcoming for the Bucs. Fitzpatrick making his 5th start of the season. He was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week twice in September. First quarterback in history to throw for 400 yards in 3 consecutive games. Jameis Winston started the last 3. Dirk Cutter going back to Fitzpatrick today. Bucs fell behind 35-7.
Adam Humphries in your slot right there.
Defended by Captain Munnerlyn. 3rd down and 4. And then Brate reaching across just before his knee hit to pick up a 1st down.
Oh, you could see that he was very reluctant to stick this ball out after he was contacted by Dante Jackson. Just bigger guy against a littler guy, but look, you don't want to put the ball in harm's way, but he knew he had to get and reach out for that 1st down. That's a great job by Cameron Brate.
That's the Harvard-to-Harvard connection. There are 9 Crimson alumni in the NFL. That's more than 61 FBS schools. Patrick has that pass batted down. 3rd time today. Julius Peppers had the first 2, and now he celebrates with Mike Adams.
Well, he hasn't had a whole bunch of pressures, but he is finding a way to affect the pocket. Look at that.
That's his 3rd of the game.
3rd one of the game. He leads his team in pass defense, I think.
Well, a basketball player at UNC. Best shot blocker on the field today. 2nd and 10. Peyton Barber. And, you know, whenever we say Barber on the carry, of course, we think about your brother Tiki, as Peyton Barber is shaken up. And we congratulate Tiki Barber as we take a look at this last run. Tiki completed his 5th New York Marathon today.
Oh, he's crazy. This is a great run by Peyton Barber. Just the shiftiness and the power at the end of the run. And he came into this game, or at least a couple of weeks ago, he had an ankle injury. And it looked like when he went down, he got tackled on that same ankle.
Empty backfield for the Bucs on 3rd down and 2. And now a penalty marker movement prior to the snap.
Neutral zone infraction, defense, 5-yard penalty, creates a 1st down.
Now watch Ryan Jensen here, Kenny. As soon as he moves his head is when K1 Short jumps into the neutral zone, and he's not even trying to snap the football. He's looking back at his quarterback as he's trying to identify the defense and change the play.
We welcome those of you who just joined us here in Charlotte as Ryan Fitzpatrick crosses midfield to the Carolina Panthers 49-yard line. Kenny Albert with Rondé Barber and Sarah Walsh. We approach 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter with Tampa Bay trailing by 14.
And Ryan Fitzpatrick is not shy to take this ball and try to create some positive yards when there's nothing down the field. It's one of the smart things he does. He doesn't force the football in areas where it's going to be in harm's way, especially here in crunch time when they need 2 scores.
Carolina led this game 35-7. Tampa Bay then pulled to within 7 with 3 straight touchdowns, as the center receiver was Jaquiz Rogers unable to make the catch. And then Carolina would add a touchdown moments ago to extend back to a 14-point lead.
Yeah, I think that's incomplete. It's close. Call incomplete on the field, and they're not going to challenge it.
They can't
challenge it because
Dirk Cutter used both challenges. Yep. And Carolina has used all 3 timeouts, so neither team can challenge the rest of the way. 3rd down and 7. Bucks must get to the 41 for a first down. More flags. False start.
False start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Right guard Caleb Benenoch. For Tampa Bay offensively today, Ryan Fitzpatrick with 4 touchdown passes. Adam Humphries has been his go-to receiver with 8 receptions and 2 touchdowns. The Carolina defense has held Mike Evans to just 1 reception. Carolina set a franchise record with 35 first-half points. Third down and 12 for the Bucks. Fitzpatrick under pressure from Captain Munnerlyn, able to get rid of it to Jacquizz Rodgers, but he stopped back at the 38-yard line following tremendous pressure by Munnerlyn.
Well, he starts out in coverage and then just sneaks in and uncontested to the quarterback, and Ryan Fitzpatrick just doesn't have this ability to spin out and get away. Really heads up play to get it to Jacquizz Rodgers, but just nowhere for him to go. Good hustle, good close by this Panthers defense and getting off the field here. I was getting ready to say we were in 4-down territory, but with that big loss, they have to punt it away.
On 4th and 21, Anger punting from his 29-yard line. End over end kick. Takes a Bucks roll and will be down inside the 10. Well, Saturday, Dwayne Haskins and the 10th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes look to keep their Big Ten and playoff hopes alive as they enter a high-stakes showdown with Michigan State. Saturday, 11:30 Eastern on Fox, or watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app. Cam Newton and the Panthers offense back out on the field. Cam's numbers today, 18 of 23, 243 yards, 2 touchdown passes.
I think he did a great job leading some crucial drives here in the 4th quarter. After the Bucks scored 21 on the ensuing drive, 21 straight on the ensuing drive, he goes all the way down the field, scores a touchdown that put them back up 2 touchdowns, and I think it may be enough for them to get the victory here today.
McCaffrey gains a couple on first down to Los Angeles. Carissa.
Well, Kenny, coming up next, America's Game of the Week, the battle of who's the best in the NFC. You've got the undefeated Rams, Jared Goff looking to do his thing on the road, and of course, Drew Brees and the Saints. The only loss they sustained was Week 1, winner of 6 in a row. It's all coming up next. Joe, Troy, and Aaron have the call. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa. We look forward to it. America's Game of the Week coming up from New Orleans. The Saints and the Rams. Saints at 6-1. Carolina with a victory today would win their 6th game. Looking to make it 10 straight here at home are the Panthers. Catch made out at the 16-yard line by Greg Olsen. And now a timeout will be taken by Tampa Bay. They have 1 remaining. It was a 35-14 game at halftime. We check out our game summary. 35 first-half points, a new franchise record. Buccaneers would score 21 consecutive points, but then they were answered when Curtis Samuel scored the last touchdown for Carolina. Ryan Fitzpatrick with his 3rd 4-touchdown game this season. That's a Bucs record. And what a day for Christian McCaffrey.
Absolutely, Kenny. Just doing it in all ways. As a runner, as a receiver out of the backfield, he's got the highlight of the week in this game with his hurdle that we saw in the first half. So, yeah, this has been a complete performance by this Carolina offense.
Welcome to those of you who have been watching the Redskins and the Falcons. Just over 4 minutes remaining in Charlotte, with the Carolina Panthers leading by 2 touchdowns. Diving attempt made by DJ Moore. Clock stops at 3:57, and the Buccaneers will get the ball back.
Well, here's your coverage right here. Just covered them all the way across the field. Really a good job, and you know, with a 14-point lead, you throw an incomplete pass or you stop the clock for Tampa Bay. I'm kind of surprised that they went for a play down the field.
Velarde punting from his 5. Humphries lets it bounce. So good field position for the Bucs, who need 2 touchdowns. 35-14 at the half, and then Fitzpatrick would hit Adam Humphries in the 3rd quarter, and then it was Humphries again. Initially ruled down. Buccaneers challenge. It was changed to a touchdown, and then Newton to Curtis Samuel, his 2nd score today, to give Carolina a 42-28 lead. Patrick's numbers in the 1st quarter and since 4 touchdowns since the start of the 2nd quarter. Best starting field position of the day for Tampa Bay. As Fitzpatrick fires downfield, looking for Deshaun Jackson, and it is picked off.
The one way that Tampa has gotten back into all the games they've played is finding a way to hit a big play down the football field. And they tried to get a double move on Dante Jackson, but he was all over it. And this is a fantastic interception.
Ripped it away from Deshaun Jackson. So the rookie Dante Jackson out of LSU comes up with his 4th pick of the season.
I don't think there's any question. They're going to obviously look at it to see if he was out of bounds, but I'm pretty sure he got a foot in and his body down. Oh, yeah, that's an interception. Heck of a play by the young player.
No question. He had only 4 interceptions his entire collegiate career, Rondé. 4 in 37 games. Now he has 4 in 8 games in the NFL. So the Panthers get the ball back. Following the 2nd Tampa Bay turnover, McCaffrey, not much. Timeout taken by the Bucs. Their 3rd and final timeout.
We've spent all day talking about James Bradbury and the things that he has done, the game he's had against Mike Evans, but Dante Jackson has been a revelation for this defense. Comes in 2nd-round draft pick and has just dominated this game. I was talking to Mike Adams, you know, the safety for Carolina, and said, what's your advice to Dante Jackson? I said, you got to be telling him it's not this easy. But to come in and 8 games into his career, have 4 interceptions, that's a great start.
He had 3 of the first 3 games. 2 in 1 game against Cincinnati, 2nd-round pick out of LSU. Buccaneers cannot stop the clock. More flags.
Neutral zone infraction, defense number 94. 5-yard penalty that remains 2nd down.
Up next for Carolina, the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday night. Short week for the Panthers. More movement, more flags.
Neutral zone infraction, defense. This 5-yard penalty will create a 1st down.
I think those pictures say everything. Just some frustrated looks on the sideline for Tampa Bay right now. It's another one of those games where they put themselves behind the 8 ball so early in the game and just feel like you have to chase it forever and put yourself in a game where you're trying to win a shootout, and the defense just can't hold up long enough for them to stay in football games. And no matter what Ryan Fitzpatrick has done, those 4 touchdowns, 240 yards through the air, it's just not enough when a defense is as porous as this Buccaneers has been this season.
Similar to how so many of their games have gone recently. Pittsburgh week 3, Atlanta in their 5th game, Cincinnati last week. They fall behind by a wide margin, then work their way back. here today. Carolina led 35-7. Tampa Bay would score the next 3 touchdowns to pull to within 7. It's Newton on second down after the fake to McCaffrey. And Cam Newton will pick up a Panthers first down. And this will take us to the 2-minute warning, which means that because the Buccaneers have no timeouts remaining, Carolina will be able to run out the clock.
It was a good showing. I mean, the whole game, the first half was just amazing. Just the types and varieties of offensive formations and plays that we saw had everybody on the Bucs defense head spinning. And then when they needed to make plays in the second half of this football game on offense, they did. The defense gave up some yardage, gave up some plays, but at the end of the day, Cam Newton and his team found a way to get their 9th win in a row at home.
Cam Newton rallying the crowd. 2-minute warning in Charlotte. Projected look on Mike Evans' face. Only 1 reception for Evans today as Newton takes a knee. Carolina Panthers will go to 6-2. Panthers in Pittsburgh on Thursday night on Fox and the NFL Network. Panthers 5th win at home this season, 10th straight overall. That's the longest active home win streak. New England 9 straight. They will host Green Bay tonight. Buccaneers will drop to 3-5, their 2nd consecutive defeat. Bucs home for Washington next Sunday. Washington coming off a loss to Atlanta earlier today. To Los Angeles, Carissa.
Kenny, you mentioned the Steelers and the Panthers playing on Thursday night. The Steelers had themselves a day today on the road against the Ravens. They escaped with a 23-16 win. That was Ben Roethlisberger with the quarterback sneak right there. We will see that game Thursday night right here on Fox and NFL Network. Kenny?
Thanks, Carissa. Cam Newton having some fun.
I think he's had fun all day long. There's not a time when he's not having fun. I mentioned earlier in the game the maturity level of Cam Newton, but I got to tell you, when he puts these pads on, puts his big number 1, his Carolina uniform, I don't know that there's a player in the NFL having more fun than him.
Well, we had some fun in the booth thanks to our statisticians, Dave Corris and Ricky Camps. Spotter Ben Bulma all the way from Lubbock, Texas, in a game last night. Planes, trains, and automobiles throughout the night.
Love it.
10 consecutive home victories. Ron Rivera and Dirk Cutter, the head coaches, get together as Carolina wins this divisional battle. They will meet again in Tampa early next month. What does the future hold for Jameis Winston? Ryan Fitzpatrick throws 4 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions in the defeat. So for Rondé Barber, Sarah Walsh, and our entire crew, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Charlotte. To Los Angeles we go for the State Farm game break.